You know, for various reasons, you get pissed off or you don't know anything. Yeah, that's happened in the past, but you know, professional fighters are professional fighters.
Anything from Krassyuk yet, and you probably won't. You know, but the whole thing is, I feel that something had to happen. Something had to happen on the grounds of some type of disagreement.
Frank's trying to downplay the drama, but let's be real, this isn't just other stuff. When a fighter like Usyk splits from his longtime promoter, it matters. Still, Frank's got one thing right: Usyk's a pro, he doesn't crumble under headlines. He trains, he prepares, he performs. Whatever beef happened behind the scenes, Usyk's eyes are locked on the fight, not the fallout. Now here's where things really heat up.
Congratulations.
Cheers. Obviously, look, we brought it back a year and a half ago, obviously, on YouTube. And
even Gareth couldn't believe it. Krassyuk and Usyk were like a package deal. But let's be honest, good quotes don't win fights. Krassyuk spoke for Usyk, but Usyk's always let his fists do the talking. Maybe this split is Usyk taking back his voice, stepping out from under the media mouthpiece. A bold move, absolutely. But Usyk's never been afraid of walking alone. To add more fuel to the fire,
certain shock in some ways because they've been together so long and you're used to them being together and you're used to Krassyuk. But he delivers great lines for Oleksandr Usyk when...
That's what makes it all the more powerful. No noise, just action. Usyk didn't drag it through the mud, didn't air out dirty laundry. He moved like he fights, calculated, efficient, clean. While Krassyuk was likely caught off guard, Usyk knew what he was doing. This wasn't drama, it was strategy. The king trimmed the fat. And now he's going into Dubois sharper than ever. And it doesn't end there.
Oleksandr Usyk has split with his long-term promoter, Alex Krassyuk. Now this has come as a surprise because there was no rumors, there was no conversation of these two having any dispute. And this
Frank's right again. When the bell rings, it's not the promoter who's taking punches, it's the fighter. And Usyk is the kind of warrior who doesn't let drama derail his discipline. While Krassyuk might have been a consistent voice outside the ring, inside it, Usyk has always been the one calling the real shots. This isn't the story of a lost partnership, it's the story of a champion leveling up, cutting off what no longer serves him. You don't stay undefeated at Usyk's level without knowing when to pivot. And now, without the noise, he's focused, dangerous, and fully dialed in. That's bad news for Dubois, and for anyone thinking Usyk's distracted. Don't just watch, join the debate in the comments. Was this split a smart move or risky timing? Tell us what you think.
You know, he's training and preparing for the best version of Usyk, which is a great fighter.
Aging champion, please. Usyk may be 37, but his engine still runs cleaner than half the division. He just outclassed Anthony Joshua twice. That's not a man at the end, that's a man still building. And the Krassyuk split? It means everything. Because it shows Usyk isn't clinging to comfort. He's taking bold moves late in his career, cutting ties, switching gears, and owning every part of his game. That's a sign of evolution, not decline. Krassyuk may have helped guide the journey, but Usyk is now steering the ship solo, and that makes him even more dangerous. Age doesn't slow a great fighter down, stagnation does. And Usyk just proved he's still moving forward. Hold on, it gets even crazier.
Oleksandr Usyk is an aging champion that's at the end of his career. So why would it mean anything now for you to leave Alex Krassyuk now?
The silence from Krassyuk speaks volumes. If this was mutual, if this was friendly, why go quiet? The truth is, something cracked. Maybe it was direction, maybe it was control, but it's clear Usyk made the decision. And when he makes moves like this, he doesn't look back. That's what separates champions from challengers. Usyk didn't wait around for media spin. He acted. And now Krassyuk, the mouthpiece for years, has nothing to say. That's not confusion. It's confirmation. Something went down, and Usyk handled it like a general, quick, clean, and cold. That kind of mental clarity in the middle of camp. Terrifying. The message is simple. Usyk doesn't flinch, not even when the split is internal. Meanwhile, in another interview,
Heard anything from Krassyuk yet, and you probably won't. You know, but the whole thing is, I feel that something had to happen. Something had to happen on the grounds of some type of disagreement that had to take place for them to say, you know what, I'm out.
Krassyuk's tone here is telling, like, he's already moved on. And that's the issue. Usyk's not done just because he's at the top. If anything, now is when his greatness is tested and proven. Champions don't retire when they hit the summit. They defend it, and this comment sounds like subtle shade. The truth is, Krassyuk underestimated Usyk's hunger to keep pushing. And maybe that's why they split. Because while Krassyuk was busy thinking there's nowhere else to go, Usyk was quietly preparing for what's next. New opponents, new records, and new levels. That mindset difference, it's massive. Usyk's not content with just being king. He's building an empire. And he doesn't need Krassyuk in that castle. But that's just the beginning.
Just 27, being a heavyweight, being the champion of the world now, and he's on his way up. Where Usyk is in his 37 is in a top position now. Yeah, so there is no other space for him.
Dubois is right. Boxing is a risk. But there's a difference between risk and readiness. And you can train from 5 years old. But when you step into the ring with Usyk, all that history gets tested like never before. This isn't sparring. This is... And while Dubois talks about being prepared, Usyk has lived the reality. Olympic gold, world titles, victories on foreign soil, and now mental clarity after a major professional split. That's not just experience, that's depth. Dubois is brave, no doubt, but bravery alone doesn't win rounds. Usyk has seen bigger men, stronger men, and smarter men, and he's broken them all. Risk? He doesn't fear it. He owns it. And here's where it's interesting.
Life's a risk. You can walk outside, get run over, anything can happen, but in this sport, I'm prepared for this risk. This is a risk that I know that I've been trained from since I was, 5 or 7 years old.
That statement might raise eyebrows, but it's hard to argue with. Usyk's won over the UK, not just with wins, but with warrior spirit. He fought AJ in London, beat him twice, and never once disrespected the fans. That kind of conduct sticks. While many fighters beg for loyalty, Usyk earned it through grace, grit, and greatness. Cleanness is backing his man for a reason, because when Usyk walks into Wembley, it won't feel like enemy territory. It'll feel like a second home. And that's the ultimate irony. A Ukrainian with more support in the UK than some of its own. It says everything about the man Usyk is, and the kind of performance fans can expect. Here comes a twist.
Right now, I believe Usyk has more fans in UK than any of the other UK fighter. And
Dave Allen says what most won't, Usyk is almost impossible to hit clean. Even in sparring over 40 rounds, the guy's a ghost. And when Dubois did land one, he couldn't follow it up. That's the difference between being dangerous and being elite. Usyk doesn't give you second chances. You miss once, he's out. You land once, he's already slipping your next shot. That's what makes him so terrifying. It's not just the skills, it's the focus. Dubois may land one or two if he's lucky, but capitalizing, that's wishful thinking. This isn't some domestic dust. This is Usyk's world, and trying to solve that puzzle in 12 rounds is like cracking a safe with a hammer. Best of luck, Daniel, you'll need it. Now compare that with...
I think I'll give Dubois a shot in that fight. It's a good time. I mean, a little bit of inactivity because of the fight falling through against Joseph Parker, but, you know, it's exciting, and I think definitely...
Dave Allen says what most won't. Usyk is almost impossible to hit clean. Even in sparring over 40 rounds, the guy's a ghost. And she examinesed wine Usyk hitsets in the Adrianak. Yalwan suck. Larina wind. He couldn't follow it up. That's the difference between being dangerous and being elite. Usyk doesn't give you second chances. You miss once, he's out. You land once, he's already slipping your next shot. That's what makes him so terrifying. It's not just the skills, it's the focus. Dubois may land one or two if he's lucky, but capitalizing, that's wishful thinking. This isn't some domestic dust-up. This is Usyk's world, and trying to solve that puzzle in 12 rounds is like cracking a safe with a hammer. Best of luck, Daniel. You'll need it. Now compare that with...
So, you know, like you said, like Daniel hit him with that shot and he never capitalized on it.
Yeah.
I sparred him for maybe 40 rounds in 2 weeks. I didn't hit him with one shot. Dubois might have, if that was a legal shot, I don't think it was. But good luck at him again. Hitting Usyk with 2 clean shots in 12 rounds is an unbelievable task. People don't understand.
When Floyd Mayweather, the master of defense, the blueprint of ring IQ, says he's giving you pointers, it means one thing: he sees something worth sharpening. Usyk is already one of the slickest heavyweights we've ever seen, but to have Floyd offer insights, that's another level entirely. You've got two of the sport's smartest minds in conversation, and that's dangerous for any opponent. If Usyk picks up even a sliver of Floyd's timing, patience, or counterwork, game over. It shows you how much Usyk is still evolving, still hungry. While others are comfortable, Usyk's still absorbing wisdom like a student. That's why he's special. Talent, humility, obsession. Mayweather never wastes time on hype jobs. He sees greatness in Usyk, and that should scare the entire division. Now let's talk legacy. This isn't just a fight, it's a defining moment in Oleksandr Usyk's career. Splitting from longtime promoter Alex Krassyuk right before a major bout is the kind of move that would shake lesser fighters to their core. But not Usyk. For him, it's not a distraction. It's liberation. He's stepping into the ring not just as a boxer, but as a man fully in charge of his destiny. No more external voices. No more filters. Just pure, focused energy. If he dominates Dubois, it will prove that his greatness was never tied to a promoter. It was always within him. It will be the ultimate mic drop to the critics who say he's at the end of his career. But if things go wrong, if the chemistry, the rhythm, the edge is missing, then questions about Krassyuk's role will flood in. Was he more than a mouthpiece? Did he help hold things together behind the scenes? Either way, this fight carries massive weight. It's about mental fortitude, self-belief, and elite execution under pressure. Usyk isn't just defending titles, he's defending the decision to go it alone. And if he pulls it off, it'll mark the beginning of an even more dangerous Usyk era. One where he fights without compromise, without control, and without limits. So, are you backing the new independent Usyk to make history? Or do you think Krassyuk's exit will cost him when it matters most? Drop your thoughts below. This one's personal.